Now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews. Cybertron Weekly is your central hub for everything Transformers.
Oh, hey, look, it's the Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah? You suck.
Please be nice. Wait, that was it, sir?
You suck.
Transformers!
Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're going to take a look at another Transformers Siege figure. It's Reflector. Now, I found this guy at my local Walmart here on the south side of Indianapolis in Greenwood, and unfortunately they only had the one. Now, the big thing about this figure, you can make the original G1 style camera, but you gotta buy 3 of these guys, which is actually pretty smart of Hasbro to you know, deploy it that way, because, well, we gotta spend $60 to get all 3 to make the camera, which I'm definitely going to do, but I wanted to go ahead and review the figure first. I'll probably do a tutorial later on how to make the camera, but yeah, definitely cool. I'm liking him so far in the box. Let's go ahead and check out the packaging. So here we have Reflector in the packaging, or Refraktor as they're calling him nowadays. This guy was always one of my favorite G1 Transformers. I love the fact how the 3 of them combined into the camera. I never had the original toy, and the original ones, in the toys, they were red and blue and green. In the cartoon, they were all the purple and green color. The one had the shutter, like this one has here, and the other 2 did not. Obviously, it's a little different here, and again, it's genius for Hasbro to come up with this marketing scheme to be able to do this. So, you know, everybody that's going to get this is going to want to get 3. So that's pretty cool. We got the artwork of Refraktor right there. Transformers Siege. We get the same poster-style art right here that we've been getting. Same kind of top right there. So just kind of a close-up. There he is in the box, looking all kinds of cool. Very, very neat. And then here is his personalized artwork. Very cool. Just a quick top view. And then, of course, we get this here on the side. Back of the package here shows Refraktor, or Reflector, as I will call him, in his robot mode. The play gimmick with all the little Battle Masters. He turns into some kind of weird little space station or spaceship. I'm not really sure what that is, or a gun. Right there, and then if you get 3 of them, you can combine him into the camera, which I'll definitely be doing, and doing a separate review on the combination of the 3 once I get all 3 of them. So yeah, there it is, looking kind of cool. Definitely digging that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Refraktor out of the box and see what we think. Now, before we get Refraktor out of the packaging, while I was in the process of recording this review, I found 2 more figures, which is awesome because that will allow me to complete the triplet set and make the camera. And at Comic-Con, they announced that they were going to do a 3-pack of this figure set with the traditional toy colors from G1, which is really, really cool. But I like the fact I've got these 3 in the traditional cartoon colors. I've always wanted that ever since the original G1 cartoon, and now I've got it. So let's go ahead and get these guys out of the package finally and see what we think. So here we have Reflector, or Refraktor, out of the packaging, and I have to say I really like these guys. Now I've got it set up like the old school G1 cartoon. Viewfinder was the only one that actually had the camera piece on the front of his chest, whereas Spectro and Spyglass did not. With these figures, all I did was take that little piece off and I just put it on their little booties so that I had them for storage, but it mimicked the old school G1 cartoon look. And what I love about this is we get the actual cartoon color scheme. Of course, the original G1 figures were, I think, like red and blue and black. They combined into the camera. And really, I think Viewmaster is the only one that had this bit right here that was even resembling that in the show. They did do a re-release of that figure back in the day. The only way that you could get Reflector was mail away here in the US. He was available in Takara Tomy, by Takara Tomy in Japan, off the shelf, but we could only get him as a mail away, and I never had him, and I'm thinking about trying to find that re-release. I don't know how much it is, but it would be cool just to compare them to these new figures. And of course, they're going to re-release these guys in a 3-pack with that color pattern, which I may pick up because this is a really fun set. And I like the idea that you had 3 of the same character that you could collect and then build it into the camera. Although what was annoying, the instructions on how to turn these guys into the camera do not exist in the box or in the transformation sheet. I had to look at MGo's tutorial on how to do that. At the end of this video, when I start talking about the camera, I'll show you guys how to transform him into the camera because it's just ridiculous that they didn't include that. Alright, now as you can tell, he comes with this little shield piece here that forms the lens of the camera. The instructions say to put it up here in this mode, which looks pretty decent, but you can also use it as a shield. If you plug it into the forearm, if I can get, there we go. You can use it as a shield if you like. That makes more sense, I think, as a toy. But it does kind of look a little bit cooler up on the shoulder. The rifle that he comes with that makes the little stand for the camera is actually a play on one of the guns that came with the original G1 toy. I want to say it was the gun that came with Viewfinder, but I can't really remember. If you know, leave a comment down below. Now I'm going to pull off the shields and the guns here. Just kind of show the figures off a little bit better together. And let's see here. If you hear thunder in the background, we're having a nice little summer thunderstorm, which is cool. Cool things down a bit because it's been hot here in Indiana, so it'd be nice to get a little bit of reprieve. Alright, so here we have the 3 figures for Reflector. If you don't know who Reflector is or was back in the day, he was a Decepticon that at 3, I don't know if they were actually 3 individual Decepticons or 3 bodies that shared one personality because they all kind of worked in unison. I always thought they were kind of like clones, but I don't know. There's some backstories, some different backstories in the comic books versus the cartoon. They were basically grunts in the actual cartoon that the 3 of them combined into a camera, and the Decepticons like Starscream or Thundercracker somebody would use to take pictures for surveillance, much like Soundwave. And they're seen briefly in Transformers of the movie. They kind of got phased out in the original cartoon, which was a bit of a shame because I always liked the concept of this character. I think they died in Transformers the movie because they're never seen again post-movie. Now, articulation on this figure is the same because they're all the same figure. I'll just grab this guy right here. The head does move back and forth. It does move up and down, but it's mainly for transformation. There is a swivel at the waist, which is nice. There's a spin up here at the top of the arm. There's a hinge here, as well as a mushroom peg right there. He's got a double jointed elbow, which is nice. And then the wrist does move backwards. Again, that's for transformation. The legs kick up that far. They kick that far back. They kick out really, really wide. There's a mushroom peg at the top. He's got a really nice knee joint right there. The feet do bend downwards, which is pretty cool. And they got that crazy ankle rocker pivot we love! With this being the widest possible stance with both feet still flat on the floor. And that is redonkulous. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I'm just going to look at one because they're all the same. I love the sculpt. I love the head sculpt. It looks like Reflector from the old cartoon show. The color scheme is perfect. I like that Decepticon logo. That chest piece is just gorgeous with that metallic green behind the glass. I don't mind the flat gray on a lot of it because he was that way in the show. The purple and the green and the gray look really good. The back of the box is very, very flat, not a lot going on. There's a little bit of gappage to get his head to go down there when you transform him. But other than that, I mean, this thing looks good. Lots of molded detail. We've got the shutter lens up front that you can take off and put somewhere else to mimic the way he looked in the old cartoon, which is phenomenal. Now, taking a look at the midsection of the figure, he got kind of a flat booty, but that's okay. I love the fact that he's got the red stripes around his wrists. Again, a nice homage to the original G1 cartoon. I think that is very cool. Everything else is pretty much the same. It's just kind of purple and gray, all that kind of good stuff. He's got lots of ports all over him for the Battlemaster type of toys, and then to be able to move the parts around that he's got, which is very nice, very convenient. Again, a little hollow bits, but that's to get the hands to fold up into the arms, which, you know, it is what it is, but I love the G1 deco here. And finally, taking a look at the back of the legs, again, they're a bit hollow. I like how the skis for the ship mode fold into the legs. That's kind of cool. I definitely dig that. He's got some nice, big, beefy feet that have the ankle pivot, which is nice. I love the paint job. The lighter purple on the shins there, the red and the silver paint apps, all look really good. The details, very, very nice. Again, he just looks really good at standing up on the shelf and has got some really nice posability. For comparison, here we have Reflector or Refraktor with their Wavemate Red Alert, and as you can see, they're the same height as Red Alert, but maybe not the width, and that might be because he's got the car front end here. I like the fact that they're normal sized. They were always kind of smaller Decepticons in the original show. They were somewhere between like the cassette bots up to the Jets. They were definitely a lot shorter than the Jets, and I don't know, there's something about this size that works for me. Now, one of the other things that's kind of cool, because it transforms, I guess, into like a ship type of mode, his front panel actually comes down to expose the chest, but this is like to go into some kind of jet mode, which I will show off here at some point in the video. But I don't know, there's something about that panel I really, really like in those guys. It looks cool, and it just works as a nice upgrade to the old G1 look. Alright, so transforming Reflector or Refraktor here into the camera mode is actually relatively simple, although they do not show you how to do it in the instructions or on the box. Again, big shout out to MGO. I actually watched his video on how to do this, and it was pretty simple. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how it's done. First, we're going to take a look at the lens and the stand that is built by using the shields and the guns. So let's go ahead and put those together. So there we have the stand. They just kind of all interconnect in there, and then the lens. Now I will say this one can be a little goofy to get in until you get all three pieces in, but once you get it in, it's relatively secure, and it gets a bit more secure when you plug it onto the camera. So I'm going to throw these all back here to the side. And as far as transforming Reflector himself, you actually do the same thing on all of them. I'm going to take my little butt pieces off right here because this is going to be used on this piece. Well, you can't even see it, it's off camera. This piece right here is actually going to connect and lock down and then connect into the actual camera. So I'm going to throw that off to the side, and then I'm going to take this butt piece right here off, and this will actually be used for the button to push the camera here in a minute, which MGO did not have, and I'll show you with it on there. I think he just missed that. And then this piece right here is going to be used to connect the actual camera lens onto when you get him into the camera mode. All right, so to transform him into camera mode, just go ahead and fold up the arms. So that's basically how you do it. You just kind of fold the arms into the back of the legs right there, and you're going to do that with these two pieces here. So I'm going to do that off screen. All right, so there's that one, and for the other one, we'll go ahead and do it. All right, and there we go. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take these pieces and spin them around, and there are plugs and ports that you are going to connect these guys into. So we're just going to plug one in like that, and then spin this one around, and we're going to plug this one in like that. And there is the bulk of the camera. And then we're going to take one of these little pieces right here. We're going to plug this right there so that we have the button for the camera piece. And then underneath, we're going to take another one of these, and we're going to plug it right here, and that is where it's going to go onto the stand. And to get this onto the front of the camera, it's actually going to interconnect into this piece right here. Let's see here if I can remember how to do this. Oh, I'm sorry, it's actually going to plug here and here on the actual, if I can get this, green pieces right here. So it's going to, let's find a better connect here. Go in like that, and then connect down here underneath, plug into place. So it's nice and tight, just like that. And then these pieces right here are going to go into these swivel bits. Just find the port and plug in. Make sure it's good and stable. Everything is there. And voila, there we have the camera. So the camera mode looks pretty good. I like it. I like the detail on it. It's a bit kind of big and wonky, but it's not bad. I like it. I think it looks pretty neat. The fact that we actually get the camera is very, very cool. And like I said, in MGo's video, the only thing he was missing was this piece right here, you know, so that you can push and take the picture. But other than that, I mean, it looks pretty cool. So just kind of a close-up. Yeah, I mean, it looks like an old school camera or a photography camera that you want to use today, I guess. A nice camera. But yeah, the little guns make the stand. The back is kind of meh, but it is what it is. And it's pretty hefty. I like the weight of it. Looks pretty good. I like how the ring goes all the way around the lens piece there. That looks pretty nice. And then the plastic glass inside the middle. Very, very cool. Overall, I think it's a pretty darn good camera mode. And here we have the alternate mode for the single Transformers themselves. I'm guessing it's supposed to be some kind of a spaceship. I don't particularly care for it. It's got the little skid piece down there. This piece connects onto there, which I guess that's the cockpit. That looks pretty decent, I guess, of the ship. Here's the back. I like how that kind of becomes a thruster. It's almost got like a Jabba sail barge look going on right there. And then it's got the front with the gun and the blast shield on it. I mean, it's okay, I suppose, but it's definitely not what Reflector is supposed to be. You could, I suppose, if you want to, just kind of pull these down and turn it into a shockwave type of gun, so you can be like all Pew, 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 pew. So there's that, I suppose. Overall, it's not bad, but it's not the best. So is a Refraktor, aka Reflector, something that you want in your Transformers collection? I'm going to say yes. The fact that you can get the same three characters and build him into the camera is very, very fun, very cool, although a bit expensive, but not much more than getting like one of the leader class figures, to be honest, and you're getting 3 toys out of it. I would have liked for them to have released the 3-pack of these guys and maybe make it $10 cheaper. That would have been better economically for me, but they are going to put the 3-pack out in the original G1 toy colors, which is cool. It's a nice alternative. I personally like this set because I was able to get the original G1 colors in toy form and a very good representation of that, and I'm extremely happy about it. I've wanted that for 35 years, and we've finally gotten it. If you're a G1 enthusiast, you're going to love this guy. I think kids are going to like it because you can take 3 toys and turn it into one camera, which is very, very cool. And just all around, it's been a fun set. So there they are, Reflector or Refraktor from Transformers Siege.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.